Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Y'all already know we're on cloud 7 over here. I'm Caress. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Just getting that out of the way. I'm so grateful for each one of y'all that tunes in, and I'm just so happy to see you. Today, you know, we're already back at it, and I've been covering this extensively, so if y'all haven't already watched, I'll link the other parts in this, but we're gonna do a Luigi Mangione reading today, specifically on his connection to Diddy. Not his personal connection. Heaven knows we don't need to drag this man through the mud anymore. But his lawyers. His defense lawyer is married to Diddy's defense lawyer. So, and they're in the same prison that's here in Brooklyn. So I just wanted to get a read from Spirit on what the connection is between those two and why the two most high profile case, defense lawyers are married. And maybe there's nothing kind of suspect about it, y'all, but we're gonna use some tarot and some oracle. So let's get started. Spirits, guides, angels, can you please give us a message about the connection between the Diddy case and the Luigi case? Huh. And it's a man tied up in a chair. I don't know if y'all can see that. How funny, it's a man tied up in a chair with caution tape. And it's King of Hazards, so there's money involved. Some kind of, there's a masculine energy with money, essentially. Can you clarify that King of Pentacles for us, please, Spirit? Can you clarify the King of Pentacles? We're truly grateful. We're truly grateful on cloud 7 here. Page of Wands. Y'all see that little baby nibbling on that bone? I am hearing that the Diddy case has links all the way up to human sacrifice and cannibalism beyond the trafficking. And so he's being told to shut his mouth. And then we have the Hermit card here. But you see, none of those zombies in the back can break in, and she's reading peacefully. I think it's so funny because we've talked already about Nancy Pelosi's kind of involvement in this and how it's essentially saving her from insider trading, this whole case. So these men are being kept quiet and kept trapped so that they can't cause any more trouble, so they can't blab. And 8 of Wands too. Can you clarify that 8 of Wands, please, Spirit? Just so y'all can see, this is 8 of Wands upright. But it's go. I mean, normally that's just like the green means go card. Can you clarify 8 of Wands for us, Spirit? We're going to switch over to and use some True Crime Oracle. Two of Cups. So 2 of Cups normally is like 2 perfect pods. And y'all see someone's literally eating this brain here. So I think there's something about deteriorating the mental state of these men because of what they know. Because at this point they both hold enough information that could get anybody in trouble. Let's go to True Crime Oracle now too. But I think with our just everything we've mentioned, There's some kind of cannibalism tie. He don't even want to get into all that. You know, there's a cannibalism tie with the Diddy case. So they're just keeping these men trapped. They're keeping these men trapped so that somebody can be at peace. And just the eating of a brain, that's so funny. And I'm glad I have Zombie Oracle or Zombie Tarot too, because it just tells a different story. But something about eating of the brain. I don't know if these men are getting drugged in there or something, but spirits, guides. Whoa. Okay. Before I could even do anything, we have a collusion of these. And who is it but the devil? I think there's some, I mean, going back to, sorry, kitty, you want out? I'm watching this little kitty. And he like to come in and out. Okay, see y'all? Y'all already know. We have the devil. And that already touches on what we were saying about just the cannibalistic human sacrifice. I don't even know why this was on my mind, but I think that there's, especially in Diddy's circle, and now with moving into the Nancy Pelosi world, there's just some folks who sacrifice and cannibalize children. I mean, that's been a rumor about elite folks for a long time, but I think there's some people who have been sacrificing these kids to keep their wealth, because what else did we have here but greed that fell out? This. We had the devil and we had greed. And then, of course, the lawyers are married. So that's a huge part of the connection. That's a huge part of the connection, that these two are married. Because they're either in it, and I don't know if they're involved. I'm not saying that Karen or her husband are involved in this. How funny, her name's Karen too. But I'm not saying they're involved in it, but I think they protect people who pay them very well to upkeep these practices. Because some of those folks genuinely believe. There's an old Oprah episode about this girl who talks about how her family would do child ritual sacrifice, and everyone just said she was crazy. And maybe she was lying, but I find it quite funny. I find that very, very funny that, you know, and she said that they did it for power. So how interesting that we get devil and greed. Of course, that's the connection between the two cases. These two know that they could tell anybody. Their tell-all book would make them richer than Elon Musk, these fools. Luigi or Diddy. You know? And they can't have that. So what's going to happen? An accident's going to happen. Or some kind of cleanup. So don't be surprised, y'all. Don't be surprised if we see something happen to Diddy. Maybe not death, because that looks a little too obvious, but something that leaves him incapacitated. And don't be surprised if something happens to Luigi, not even because he deserves it, even in the eyes of the law, not because of whatever corruption, but just because at this point he's too big of a threat. He's a witness to things that we're not supposed to know about. He's a witness to these things, y'all. But y'all can't tell me. This is some crazy stuff. The cards really don't lie. Well, ask them, what's the connection between Diddy and the Luigi case? And it's just the devil's greed. They've been doing some horrible things to some innocent people, and now some people know. And Diddy would talk to save himself, I'm sure, and to say, you want to know who my boss is? Which I don't even know how much of it is literally satanic. It's more on the spiritual realm. But there's people who serve the devil, and you know, y'all, there's Satan worshipers, whatever. Like, there's people who are satanic that don't do any of this stuff. They just believe in, like, independence or whatever. There's the Satanic Temple. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people who are like, no, we're going to put a child on the altar and kill them or do something horrible sexually to them so that we can have money. And that's a real thing that happened, y'all, but it came out of the deck. Y'all saw me shuffle. And then we have this, of course. Of course. So that's, you know, like, if you are somebody who's working for these high profile people and you have a spouse that's not involved, I think they're both involved, which, how funny. We're talking about that connection. Marriage, wedding, love, and spouse all comes out. I think they're just, both lawyers happen to be in that tiny circle where they work for high profile clients where you have to sign the NDA. They're not shocked about baby eating, spirit cooking, any of that stuff. So it's like, yeah, we'll get married because no one else is going to understand my life. No one else is going to understand that I work for people who do some stuff that no one else gets or wants to do. So don't be surprised if something crazy happens to these men in jail. I'm calling it now. And don't be surprised if they make it look like it was nothing. Oh, an inmate did something to Luigi. Oh, Diddy fell and hit his head and now he's incapacitated. They're very much in the same place so that everyone can keep an eye on them too. They're in the same place so that folks can keep an eye on them. This is very, very interesting, y'all. What does the Pulp Tarot have to say? Spirits, guides, and angels, could you give us clarifiers and insight on this connection, please? Could you give us clarifiers and insight on this connection between the Diddy and Luigi cases? What's going to happen next? So, of course, we have, and of course, a very, very young woman, but I don't know if this means that there's going to be some kind of, they're going to use some kind of beautiful woman as a distraction, or something's going to come up. Maybe introduction of a new character, but because it was upside down, I think it's going to be something that happens that's very rote. Like, it's almost rough, and people are going to be like, what? Like when Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Similarly, it's that sort of thing to where it's like, it's against everybody's intuition, but they're gonna use a distraction. Just how they already use, and they're already doing it, because we see footage of Luigi at the courthouse, and they can't get over how many young women came to support him, and oh, young, beautiful women, like they're distracting from something with this. But there's gonna be another character introduced, someone to step forward, some beautiful woman, and something's gonna happen. And that person will be a plant, by the way. The beautiful woman that steps forward will be a plant. But the thing that's going to happen that seems too good to be true is too good to be true. Can we get another card, please, Spirit? Can we get another card on this situation, please? For a beautiful Cloud 7. Six of Swords. Somebody gonna make a great escape. Someone's gonna make a great escape. And someone's gonna flee, y'all. I don't know. A key person is gonna flee. Whether that's Luigi's Pennsylvania lawyer dropping the case, whether that's suddenly Diddy gets transported somewhere else, or Luigi does, or something quote unquote happens to them, but they really just get transported somewhere else to start a new life over where people don't know or care what they look like. But someone in the dead of night is going to be sent somewhere, dropped off in the middle of nowhere as a cover. So don't be surprised if someone goes missing, y'all. Don't be surprised if someone goes missing. Whew. I have a chill. Spirits, guides, angels, what else do you have for us here? What else do you have for Cloud 9 now? Nope. Four of Pentacles. It's more of this. Where to go? That's more this. At this point, he's trying to not lose everything he has. And you know what? The payout's probably finally going to happen. The money that was promised. And that's another thing, too. supposed person who snitched on Luigi isn't going to get their call because they didn't call the tip line, they called 911. Or they're not going to get that $50,000 that they were promised. So that person, if they're even real, that person's not getting that money. And it's probably because they're not real. It's probably because they're not. Let's go back to True Crime Oracle. This is crazy, y'all. Yeah, now Luigi knows too much that they can't. He's a risk. He's a risk, so they might not ever let him go. You think they're gonna let him go? Someone snitches? Hell no. Spirits, guides, angels, please give us the clearest insight on this situation. Please give us the clearest insight you can on this situation. And what did they say happened at Jeffrey Epstein? He killed himself. So don't be surprised, y'all. I'm telling you. If Diddy hangs himself, he probably didn't. But they may use that as a tool. They might use that as a tool to say he did something that he didn't do to protect themselves. And you know, it doesn't even have to be, it doesn't have to be anything, because let's be real, y'all, like, they might just give him some hush money, send him to the middle of the night, put more distraction stuff out, but tell him, you know, you can kill yourself, start over, pretend none of this ever happened. And they're willing to do that. And then he's just gonna disappear into the night with money and offshore accounts, and like it never happened. But same goes for Luigi too. Don't be surprised if he pops up, something happens to him, because now he knows too much. And if he talks, he's gonna ruin it for everybody. He's gonna ruin it for everybody. Because he knows more than you would ever want to know about all this stuff. And that never goes unpunished. In the world of high crime, that never goes unpunished. Even look at this. You know, it's so this person, whether that's Pelosi or whoever, it's so they can sleep peacefully. But how can they sleep peacefully knowing that someone whose opinion we would probably trust what that man says? Yes, because he's hot, but also because of what he's been through. Luigi, I mean, not Diddy. No one thinks Diddy's hot. Come on. Pay attention, y'all. Yeah, we would all believe it. So she can't be peaceful. She can't be peaceful because the zombies are busting through. So it's like they're ghosts they want to get rid of. And at this point, just because everybody's eyes are on them is probably the only thing that's keeping anything from happening to them. But it's not going to be longer. Can we have one more? And I always, I mean, with rare exceptions, I always think this to mean political parties, but how funny, because it's Diddy parties. So I think a certain party politically is trying to get rid of him because his parties were the #1 destination for, where's he at? Where's our little gargoyle? Oh yeah. His parties were the hot spot for this kind of thing. For the devil's greed, baby. And you know, as much as people were probably getting freaked off, who the hell else knows what was happening? Because if all these people are into this same stuff, then they turn a blind eye, even if someone's getting eaten. Even with that weird thing Armie Hammer said, like, they do soft launches with that sort of stuff. And what's his name? There was someone else that kept tweeting about, like, eating Haitian babies and stuff. So it's like it was a party for them. But don't be surprised if some sort of crowd event is how they they say he died, or some kind of like jail mobbing. So the guard wasn't protecting him. It was a gang of people who beat him up because he's in there known for pedophilia. So someone's gonna want to kick his ass. But they are connected. Those two are connected through the hush. And they're being told to hush. So, spirits, guides, and angels, can you tell us what's next in the situation? What's immediately next? Guides, angels, what's next for us here? Whoa. Okay, we'll take these. Communication is key. It's that inside, they're restricting of the communication, and nothing will come of this situation. So be prepared for something very anticlimactic. Epstein level. We all thought, oh, he's gonna talk. We're gonna find out about Lolita Express, all this stuff. No. Something very anticlimactic is in the works. And at best, you're just going to hear about their either permanent imprisonment and restricted communication. At worst, they're just going to disappear into the night and won't be heard from again, y'all. But void of course, too. Don't be surprised if we don't get anything of this, because right now we're all waiting for that satisfying climax to the situation. But don't be surprised if it doesn't come, and don't be surprised if someone kills themselves or gets off in jail, not because of justice, but because they knew too much and they're afraid they're gonna say too much, y'all. Whew. Protect me, angels. That was some intense energy, y'all. Thank you very much, Spirit, for letting us in on the messages, and thank you to you all here on Cloud 7 and 7 Heaven. I'm Caress. I love y'all so much. Please comment, like, subscribe, share. Let me know who else you want a reading on. Someone recommended I do a reading on Johnny Depp's, and just like future career stuff for him. So I heard you on that. I'm gonna put that in the queue. And I'm just so excited to have y'all here. I'm excited to be in this energy channeling with y'all. And I will see you at the next one. Bye.